Have you ever felt like something's missing? Simply because you're single, society teaches us that being alone means being incomplete, that love, validation, and happiness must come from someone else. But what if they're wrong? What if staying single isn't a curse, but the greatest gift you could ever give yourself? Think about it. How many people rush into relationships, not because they've found peace, but because they're afraid of silence, afraid of their own thoughts, afraid to be alone with who they really are? The Stoics believe that solitude isn't punishment, it's training. It's the place where you learn who you are, what you value, and what you're truly capable of without anyone's approval. So before you chase another person to fill your emptiness, pause, breathe, and remember this: you were born complete. You don't need to be found, you only need to discover yourself. Welcome to the Stoic Island, where peace begins within. Most people are not afraid of being alone, they're afraid of what they might feel when the noise fades. We live in a world that glorifies connection, likes, follows, messages, dates, a world that sells the idea that happiness is something you must find in another person. From the moment we're young, movies, songs, and stories whisper the same message: love will complete you. You are half, until you meet your other half. And so, we grow up believing that our worth depends on someone else's validation, that to be seen, desired, chosen, is to be enough. But this is the modern illusion. Look around, everywhere you go, people are searching, not for truth, not for peace, but for distraction. They jump from one relationship to another, trying to fill the void that was never meant to be filled by another person. They mistake comfort for love, they mistake attention for meaning, they mistake attachment for belonging. The Stoics would have called this enslavement to desire. Epictetus once said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." And most of us think we know what love is, but what we often chase is dependency disguised as affection. When you constantly need someone to make you feel whole, you've surrendered your power, you've handed over the keys to your peace, and whoever controls your peace controls you. Relationships today often begin not from strength, but from emptiness. We enter them hoping to be saved, healed, understood, as if another person could rescue us from ourselves. But no one can complete what was never broken. You are not a puzzle missing pieces. You are a whole being learning how to understand your own shape. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts." Not the quality of your partner, not the number of people who text you back, not how desired you are. Your peace is born, and dies, in the mind. Yet modern culture distracts you from that truth. Everywhere you look, you are told that being single means being behind, that solitude equals failure, that if you're not chosen, you're not enough. This illusion keeps millions trapped, seeking worth in another human being instead of building it within. Scroll through your phone, and you'll see the performance of love, smiles, vacations, couples holding hands under sunsets, perfect lives curated for perfect attention. But behind many of those smiles, are people terrified of being alone. They don't post out of joy, they post out of fear, fear of being forgotten, fear of not being seen, fear that if no one notices their happiness, it might not exist. Seneca would call this living for the eyes of others. He wrote, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And indeed, most of our pain comes not from being single, but from imagining what others might think of us for being single. We confuse the perception of loneliness with the experience of solitude. We think if no one sees us, we must be invisible. If no one loves us, we must be unworthy. But the Stoics remind us, the only judgment that matters is your own. there's a reason why silence scares people. Because in silence, the truth speaks, and the truth is uncomfortable, it reminds you of the things you've ignored, the unhealed wounds, the regrets you buried, the identity you never took time to understand. When you're constantly surrounded by noise, music, messages, people, relationships, you can avoid that confrontation. But solitude takes away your escape routes. It holds a mirror to your soul, and whispers, "Who are you when no one is watching?" That is why the modern world runs from solitude. It's not that people don't want peace, they just don't want to meet the person standing between them and peace, themselves. The Stoics sought that confrontation. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations not for the world, but for himself, to speak with his own mind, to correct it, to guide it. He didn't fear the mirror, he lived in front of it, and that's what solitude gives you. A chance to face yourself with honesty. Without performance, without masks. Let's challenge one of the most dangerous beliefs: I need someone to be happy. No, you don't. You might want someone, and that's human. But the moment you convince yourself you need them, you've placed your happiness outside your control. Epictetus taught the principle of control, that there are things within our power, and things beyond it. Love, relationships, other people's choices, these are beyond your control. Your thoughts, your actions, your discipline, these are within your control. When you depend on another person for joy, you are gambling your peace on something you can never fully command, and when they change, as all humans do, your world collapses with them. But if your peace comes from within, nothing external can shake it. That's why the Stoics valued solitude, not because they rejected love, but because they refused to worship it. They saw relationships as a choice, not a need, a gift, not an escape, a partnership, not a possession. There's another illusion, the fear that time is running out, that if you don't find someone soon, you'll be left behind. This fear drives people into relationships that drain them, break them, and teach them to settle for less than peace. But Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Do not act as if you were going to live 10,000 years. Death hangs over you while you live. While it is in your power, be good." The Stoic lesson here is not despair, it's focus. Your time is too precious to waste trying to be what others expect. You were not born to meet a deadline, you were born to meet yourself. Love, when it arrives, will not be late. It will find you at peace, not desperate, not searching, but grounded, because peace attracts peace. Imagine waking up one morning and feeling content, not because someone texted you good morning, but because you are the good morning you walk through your day in silence, and it doesn't feel empty anymore. It feels clear. You notice the sky, the sound of your breath, the rhythm of your footsteps. And suddenly, you realize, you've been missing this. Not love, not affection, not another person, but presence. The Stoics believed that to live well, one must live simply, not in isolation, but in awareness. Solitude gives you back what society took away, your attention. You begin to see that happiness was never lost, only hidden under layers of noise and need. When you master solitude, you transform how you approach love itself. You no longer enter relationships to escape loneliness, you enter them to share peace. You no longer demand validation, you offer understanding. You no longer fear being left, because you know you'll still be whole. That's the paradox. When you finally stop needing love, you become truly capable of it, because real love is not dependency, it's two complete souls walking side by side, not two broken ones clinging to each other for survival. If Marcus Aurelius lived today, he wouldn't be scrolling through dating apps, he'd be journaling about the impermanence of desire. If Seneca had Instagram, he wouldn't post quotes, he'd ask, "Why do you need others to notice your wisdom?" And if Epictetus saw the chaos of modern relationships, he'd smile softly and say, "Remember, it's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." The modern illusion tells you that you need someone to live fully. The Stoics tell you that you need to learn to live, before you can truly share that life with someone else. Choosing to stay single is not rebellion, it's clarity. It's saying, "I refuse to live half a life, waiting for someone to make it whole. I refuse to confuse attachment with love. I choose to know myself first, so that when I do love, I will love freely, not fearfully." That is the quiet revolution, the one that happens within you, when you finally stop chasing, and start being. And so, the truth becomes clear, being single isn't a punishment, it's preparation. It's the space where strength is born, where clarity replaces chaos, where you stop begging for peace and begin to become peace. In the next part, we'll explore what the Stoics knew all along, that solitude is not loneliness, it is the ground where your soul learns to stand tall. Welcome to the power of solitude. Solitude, the word itself feels heavy to many, as if it carries loneliness inside it. But solitude is not isolation, it's not rejection, or emptiness, or exile. It is presence, a rare space where your mind can breathe without interruption. In a world that's constantly shouting, solitude is the silence that heals. The Stoics understood this better than anyone. To them, solitude was not an escape from life. It was the laboratory of the soul, the place where clarity and strength are forged. Most people fear silence. They turn on music, scroll their phones, fill every quiet second with noise. Because silence makes them feel exposed, it reveals the truth they've been avoiding. But silence is not your enemy, it's your teacher. When you sit in silence long enough, you begin to hear things you've missed, the rhythm of your breathing, the patterns of your thoughts, the quiet whispers of your own heart. Seneca wrote, "I never spend a day in idleness, I either read or write or meditate." He wasn't afraid of silence because he understood that true power comes from mastering the mind within it. Solitude gives you that chance to meet yourself without the filters, without the noise, without the constant feedback of others. That's why the Stoics embraced moments of stillness, not to run from the world, but to return to it stronger, wiser, and grounded. Imagine standing in front of a still lake. The water is calm, like glass. You look down, and you see your reflection clearly, every line, every flaw, every detail. Now imagine throwing stones into that lake. The ripples distort your reflection until you can't see yourself anymore. That's what noise does to the mind. That's what endless conversations, distractions, and relationships can do. They blur the image of who you truly are. Solitude stills the water, it allows you to see yourself again, to study your fears, your habits, your thoughts, not to judge them, but to understand them. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere you can go is more peaceful, more free of interruptions, than your own soul." Solitude is that place. It's not physical, it's mental. You can be surrounded by people and still be alone within yourself. You can sit in silence and yet feel deeply connected to everything. This is the paradox of solitude. The more time you spend with yourself, the less lonely you become. The world often mistakes dependence for love, but Stoicism teaches the opposite. True love begins with independence. You cannot love purely if you're afraid to stand alone. You cannot give freely if your peace depends on being accepted. Solitude builds self-reliance, the quiet confidence that says, I can survive without anyone else, but I choose to connect out of strength, not need. Epictetus wrote, no great thing is created suddenly. And solitude is where that greatness begins. It's the training ground for resilience. When you're alone, you learn to motivate yourself, to discipline your actions, to find comfort in your own presence. You realize that loneliness is not the absence of others, it's the absence of self-connection. And when you rebuild that connection, you stop feeling abandoned, because you're no longer waiting for someone to fill your silence. You've learned to fill it yourself. In solitude, your mind becomes sharper. You start seeing patterns in your habits, your choices, your emotions. You begin to ask yourself questions most people avoid. What do I really want? Why do I keep repeating the same mistakes? What am I chasing that brings me no peace? When the distractions are gone, your thoughts have nowhere to hide. They rise to the surface like bubbles in still water. That's when growth begins. Not through comfort, but through awareness. The Stoics practiced reflection daily. They ended each day by examining their actions and asking, did I live according to my principles today? What could I have done better? You can't do this kind of reflection when your mind is cluttered by noise. Solitude clears the room so that truth can enter. Clarity is power, and solitude is where clarity lives. Most people fear solitude because they secretly fear they're not enough. They think, if I'm alone, maybe it means I'm not lovable. But solitude reveals the opposite, that you are enough, you always have been. You don't need to earn worth through relationships, or prove it through companionship. You simply need to remember it. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself daily, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When you internalize this truth, you stop grasping for approval. You no longer need to be seen to know that you exist. You no longer need to be loved to feel that you are worthy. Solitude gives you back your self-sufficiency. It helps you build peace that doesn't depend on external validation. It teaches you to enjoy your own company, to walk alone without feeling lonely, to sit in silence without craving distraction. That is freedom, and that is what the Stoics called inner harmony. The Stoics were not monks who rejected society. They were emperors, teachers, soldiers, and thinkers, men deeply involved with the world. But they understood that to act wisely in the world, you must first retreat from it, briefly. To regain balance, solitude was never about isolation. It was preparation. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, yet he found time every morning and night to be alone, to write, to reflect, to train his mind. Seneca served powerful men, yet his letters reveal moments of deep contemplation, where he withdrew to strengthen his inner world. Even Epictetus, once a slave, taught his students that solitude is where you build the strength to face whatever life throws your way. They didn't run from the world, they simply refused to let the world run them. And that's the purpose of solitude today, not to escape society, but to step away long enough to see it clearly. Stillness is not laziness, it's control. To sit quietly, to resist the urge to check your phone, to allow thoughts to rise and fall without reacting. This is not easy, but it's in this discipline that your mind becomes stronger. The Stoics practiced a form of meditation, not to empty their thoughts, but to observe them without attachment. They knew that if you can stay calm in silence, you can stay calm in chaos. Solitude is the gym of the soul, the place where you train the muscles of patience, focus, and detachment. Each moment you spend alone, you sharpen your ability to think clearly, to act with intention, to respond with reason rather than impulse. This is the kind of strength that doesn't show on the outside, but it transforms everything on the inside. when you slow down, you begin to notice beauty in simplicity, the sound of rain tapping against your window, the morning light stretching across your floor, the warmth of your tea between your palms. These are moments that rush past unnoticed when your mind is cluttered, but solitude invites you to see them again, to be present for your own life. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." And what he meant is this: life is not measured by the number of people you spend it with, but by the depth of awareness with which you live it. Solitude returns that depth to you. It gives you time, not more hours, but more life in every hour. Ironically, solitude doesn't make you distant from others, it makes you more compassionate. When you understand your own thoughts, you understand others more deeply. When you forgive your own flaws, you learn to forgive theirs. Solitude softens you, not into weakness, but into wisdom. You stop expecting others to save you, and instead, you begin to appreciate them for who they truly are. You no longer seek relationships out of fear, but from peace. You no longer demand that others make you happy, because happiness has already found a home within you. This is how solitude transforms love itself. It turns it from a transaction into a gift. There's a quiet strength in the person who walks alone without fear, not because they don't value others, but because they've learned to value themselves. Solitude teaches you that peace is not found in the presence of others, but in the absence of need. When you master solitude, you become unshakable. You stop chasing, you stop clinging, you stop begging life to be different. You begin to live, fully, presently, freely. And then, when love does come, you meet it as an equal, not as a seeker hoping to be completed, but as a whole soul ready to share the peace you've built. That is the true power of solitude. It turns you into someone who no longer needs to be loved, because you have already learned to love yourself deeply, quietly, faithfully. And that's the secret the modern world has forgotten. Solitude isn't loneliness, it's liberation. It's where you stop running from yourself and start walking with yourself. In the next part, we'll explore what happens when this peace turns into strength, when solitude becomes self-mastery, and mastery becomes freedom, because the ultimate goal of the Stoic life is not to escape the world, but to move through it untouched by its storms. Welcome to the next lesson: self-mastery and freedom. Freedom, everyone wants it, few understand it. Ask most people what freedom means, and they'll tell you it's the ability to do whatever you want, to say what you please, to go wherever you choose. But the Stoics saw freedom differently. They knew the hardest prison to escape is not the world around you, it's the world within you. You can have wealth, power, and endless choices, and still be chained by your emotions. You can travel anywhere, but never leave your anxiety behind. You can own everything, yet remain a slave to desire. True freedom, the Stoics said, begins when you master yourself. Every person carries a quiet war inside, between impulse and reason, between desire and discipline, between who we are and who we want to be. We wake up with good intentions, but by nightfall, we've surrendered to distraction, anger, comparison, fear. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. Those words aren't just philosophy, they're instruction. Freedom is not achieved by conquering the world, but by conquering yourself. The battle isn't out there, it's in here, in how you respond when things don't go your way, in how you handle rejection, loss, and uncertainty, in how you choose to think when life tries to provoke you. Solitude, as you've learned, gives you the space to observe this battle, but self-mastery, that's when you begin to win it. Most people are ruled by their emotions, without even realizing it. They wake up in a good mood, and the day feels bright. They wake up tired or anxious, and the world suddenly feels hostile. They let a single message ruin their morning, a stranger's comment dictate their confidence, a memory of failure poison their peace. Epictetus compared this to being a dog tied to a cart. The cart moves, that's fate, life, the things beyond your control. You can either walk willingly beside it, or be dragged by it. That's the difference between reaction and response, between enslavement and freedom. Freedom doesn't mean emotions disappear, it means they no longer command you. When anger rises, you watch it. When fear whispers, you listen, but you don't obey. When desire tempts, you decide if it serves your principles. You are no longer the servant of every feeling that visits your mind. You become the gatekeeper. Self-mastery is not coldness, it's clarity. It doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you stop being ruled by feelings. The Stoics practiced this through daily discipline, a routine of reflection, control, and awareness. Each morning, Marcus Aurelius prepared himself for the world. Today you will meet people who are meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsocial. None of them can hurt me. He wasn't being cynical, he was preparing his mind. He knew that emotions often ambush us when we expect the world to be kind. But if you begin your day expecting difficulty, you disarm disappointment before it arrives. That's Stoic discipline, not waiting for calm seas, but learning to steer your ship through storms. Every reaction you control, every temptation you resist, every pain you endure without complaint, is another link in the chain of mastery. Freedom also means understanding what you can and cannot control. This is the foundation of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. You control your thoughts, actions, and intentions. You do not control outcomes, other people, or the past. Yet how much time do we waste, trying to rewrite what's already happened? How much peace do we sacrifice, worrying about things we can never change? Epictetus said, "There is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will." When you let go of what you can't control, you become light, untangled, calm, and free. That's why the Stoics were unshaken by fortune or misfortune. They played their part fully, but accepted that fate had the final say. Self-mastery, then, is not resistance to reality, it's alignment with it. You stop fighting the flow of life, and instead, you learn to move with it, like a swimmer using the current, not against it. Desire is subtle. It often hides behind ambition, behind dreams, behind motivation. But unchecked desire enslaves. It whispers, "You'll be happy when you have more money, when you find love, when people finally understand you." The Stoics called this the hedonic treadmill long before the term existed, chasing endlessly, but never arriving. Seneca warned, "He who is not contented with what he has, would not be contented with what he would like to have." Freedom is contentment. It's not the absence of desire, but the absence of dependence on it. You can still want things, but you must not need them to be at peace. When you desire less, you see more, you appreciate what already is. You stop rushing through life as if the next moment holds something the present doesn't, and suddenly, you realize, you were already enough. At the heart of Stoic freedom lies one truth: you always have a choice, not in what happens, but in how you respond. You can choose to react with anger, or to pause with understanding. You can choose to complain, or to adapt. You can choose to suffer, or to learn. Viktor Frankl, inspired by Stoic thought, wrote, "Between stimulus and response there is a space. in that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. That space, that moment between impulse and action, is where your power lives. Every time you use it, you grow stronger. Every time you forget it, you fall back into chains. Freedom is built in those tiny, unseen moments, when you decide not to let the world decide for you. Imagine your mind as a wild horse. If left untamed, it runs wherever it pleases, dragging you with it. But through discipline, awareness, and repetition, you begin to guide it. It still has energy, passion, life, but now it serves you, not the other way around. That's self-mastery. It's not suppressing your nature, it's directing it. It's transforming your impulses into purpose. You stop being a victim of emotion, and become its commander. Marcus Aurelius described this state beautifully. A man should be upright, not kept upright. Meaning, you don't rely on others to hold you steady. Your steadiness comes from within, and once your inner world stands firm, no storm outside can knock you down. To master yourself is to find calm in chaos. The Stoics lived in turbulent times, wars, loss, betrayal, uncertainty, yet their writings are filled with peace. Why? Because they realize that chaos outside is only powerful when it finds chaos inside. If your inner world is grounded, nothing external can destroy it. When others panic, you breathe. When others blame, you reflect. When others chase, you wait. This doesn't make you detached from life, it makes you more effective in it. You see clearly what others can't. You act from reason, not reaction. And in doing so, you rise above the noise of the world. That's not arrogance, that's mastery. Detachment is often misunderstood. It doesn't mean indifference or coldness. It means loving without clinging, acting without expecting, giving without needing recognition. When you detach, you remove the strings the world tries to pull on you. You can love someone deeply, but not lose yourself in them. You can pursue goals passionately, but not collapse if you fail. You can enjoy possessions, but not be possessed by them. Seneca said, "He is a great man who uses earthenware as if it were silver, and silver as if it were earthenware." That's the essence of detachment, to use the world, but not to depend on it. This is ultimate freedom, to participate fully in life, but remain untouched by its fluctuations. Self-mastery is not a finish line, it's a daily practice, a circle you walk again and again. Some days you'll win the battle within, other days, emotions will take the lead. But even that awareness, that gentle return to control, is progress. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself constantly. Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Don't wait for the perfect mindset, live it now. Each moment of control, each pause before reaction, each act of discipline, is another stone in the foundation of your freedom. You'll know you've touched freedom when life no longer feels like a fight, when people's opinions lose their power over you, when failure no longer defines you, when peace becomes your default state, not your reward. Freedom feels like breathing deeply for the first time in years. It feels like smiling at a problem, because you finally understand, the problem was never the world, it was your attachment to how you thought it should be. And when that attachment breaks, you don't fall, you fly. That's the Stoics' quiet liberation, to live fully, without needing anything more than what is. The final stage of mastery is presence, not living in the past, it's gone, not chasing the future, it's uncertain, but fully embracing the now. The Stoics were masters of the moment. Every breath, every decision, was a chance to practice virtue, to be calm, to be just, to be wise. Epictetus said, "Don't explain your philosophy. Embody it." That's self-mastery, to live so deliberately, that even your silence teaches something. Freedom isn't something you achieve someday, it's something you practice in every breath. Every pause, every act of self-control. And so, you see, freedom isn't found in rebellion against the world, it's found in harmony with yourself. When your mind obeys reason, when your emotions serve wisdom, when your actions align with principle, you become untouchable. This is the heart of Stoicism, to live free, not because life is easy, but because you have mastered the one thing that truly belongs to you, yourself. In the next part, we'll journey deeper into this idea, to the fortress that stands within every Stoic soul, a place that no pain, no loss, no chaos can destroy. Welcome to the inner fortress. There comes a time in every person's life, when the storms outside grow too strong, when words wound, plans fall apart, and people you trusted turn away. In those moments, the question is not whether you can stop the storm. You can't. The question is, where will you stand while it rages? The Stoics had an answer. They built something no storm could touch, an inner fortress. Marcus Aurelius called it the inner citadel. A place inside your soul where no pain, no insult, no misfortune could enter. He wrote, "Men seek retreats for themselves, in the country, by the sea, in the hills, but you can, at any moment, retreat into yourself." That's the secret of the Stoics. While the world sought escape through travel, pleasure, or distraction, they sought refuge within, because they knew, the safest place on earth is not somewhere out there, it's inside you. Your fortress isn't built from stone or steel, it's built from principles, from discipline, acceptance, and truth. It's built every time you choose calm over chaos, understanding over anger, patience over pride. This fortress isn't cold or distant, it's alive. A quiet sanctuary you carry. Everywhere you go, a fortress stands only as strong as its foundation. For the Stoic, that foundation is virtue, the unwavering commitment to live by reason and principle, not impulse or desire. Marcus said, "If it is not right, do not do it, if it is not true, do not say it." Simple, but how often do we betray what we know is right, just to feel accepted, to please others, to avoid discomfort? Each time you choose integrity over ease, you lay another stone in your fortress wall. Each time you act from reason instead of reaction, the foundation grows stronger. The Stoic doesn't seek comfort, he seeks character, because comfort can vanish, character cannot, and when your values are firm, no loss can shake you, no insult can reach you, you stand unmoved. Your fortress also needs walls, not to shut the world out, but to protect what matters inside. Boundaries are not barriers, they're acts of self-respect. Say no when your peace is at risk. Step back when conversations turn toxic. Guard your attention as you would guard treasure, because in truth, it is treasure. Your mind, your time, your focus, these are the building materials of your life. If you let others misuse them, your fortress crumbles. The Stoics were not isolationists, they engaged with the world, but on their own terms. Epictetus reminded his students, "No man is free who is not master of himself." And part of mastery is saying, "I choose what enters my mind." That's how you keep the fortress pure, not from arrogance, but from wisdom. Even the strongest fortress needs gates, but what you let in, that decides whether your fortress protects you or destroys you. The Stoics taught that perception is everything. It's not what happens to you, it's how you interpret it. Two people can face the same hardship, one breaks, the other grows. Why? Because one sees tragedy, the other sees training. Marcus Aurelius said, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's the gatekeeper's wisdom, to transform obstacles into opportunities. When pain knocks, you don't deny it, you open the gate, welcome it in, and ask, "What lesson have you brought me this time?" Every hardship that passes through your gate with awareness, becomes a brick in your wall, a piece of your strength. At the heart of your fortress lies silence, a sacred space untouched by noise, where you meet yourself. Most people fear silence, because in silence, truth speaks. You begin to hear your real thoughts, the ones buried beneath distraction, the ones that ask, "Am I living as I should? Am I proud of who I am when no one's watching?" The Stoics return to this chamber daily. Marcus wrote in his journal each morning and night, not to be admired, but to align himself with his higher nature. He treated his thoughts like soldiers, disciplining them, questioning them, training them for peace. This practice, this reflection, is how your fortress grows from within, because silence isn't emptiness, it's structure, it's the architecture of the soul. Every fortress is tested, not by armies, but by emotions. Fear will attack first, whispering that you're not strong enough. Desire follows, promising happiness if you surrender your values. Anger storms the gate, demanding revenge. Pride slips in quietly, disguising itself as righteousness. Each one tests your defenses, but the Stoic doesn't fight them blindly. He observes, he names them, and in naming them, he disarms them. When fear comes, he says, "This is only a thought." When desire comes, he says, "This will pass." When anger comes, he breathes. When pride comes, he bows to humility. And the fortress stands, not because no enemy ever comes, but because it's built for battle. You never know how strong your walls are, until the storm arrives. Loss, betrayal, illness, these are the great tests. They reveal the strength of what you've built inside. When everything falls apart, your plans, your certainty, your comfort, you'll face the moment all Stoics prepare for, the question, "Who am I when nothing else remains?" If your fortress is built on pleasure, you'll crumble. If it's built on ego, you'll break. But if it's built on virtue, on patience, acceptance, courage, and wisdom, you'll remain. Seneca once said, "Fire tests gold, adversity tests the brave." The storm doesn't destroy you, it reveals you. And when it passes, you'll stand taller, not because life spared you, but because you were unshaken within it. Even the strongest Stoic falters. We all do. The mind wavers, emotions surge, walls crack. That's okay. The art of the fortress isn't perfection, it's return. When you notice yourself losing control, don't judge yourself. Return. When anger clouds your thoughts, return. When fear blinds you, return to silence, return to reason, return to yourself. Marcus Aurelius often reminded himself. When you wake up, you will find your mind wandering. Bring it back. And bring it back again. The fortress isn't a one-time construction, it's a lifelong repair project. But with every return, it grows stronger. When you live inside your fortress, the world looks different. You still see pain, but not as punishment, as part of the human experience. You still face challenges, but you meet them with calm readiness. You no longer chase what you can't control, nor cling to what must pass. From this place, you begin to see clearly. Most of life's chaos was never outside. It was in your perception, and once you master perception, you see the beauty in everything. The kindness in struggle, the lesson in failure, the peace in impermanence. That's what the Stoics called ataraxia, tranquility of the soul, a calm so deep, even life's noise cannot disturb it. The purpose of the fortress isn't to hide, it's to live stronger, wiser, freer. When your inner world is steady, you move through life differently. You speak gently even in conflict. You act with patience even under pressure. You forgive easily because you understand deeply. This doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful, because true strength doesn't shout, it's quiet, composed, unshakable. From your fortress, you can love without fear, you can fail without despair. You can walk through loss without losing yourself, and people will wonder how you do it, how you stay so calm while the world trembles, how you smile even when things fall apart. You'll know the answer, because my peace no longer depends on the world, it lives within me. The Stoics built their fortresses centuries ago, but their walls still stand, in every person who dares to master themselves. Their wisdom wasn't meant to stay in books. It was meant to be lived, to be felt in quiet mornings, in moments of loss, in the decision to stay kind when the world isn't. And you are the new builder. Every act of courage, every moment of self-control, every time you choose to stay calm. You're laying another stone. One day, you'll look within, and realize you no longer seek peace, because you are peace. That's the final stage of the fortress, when the builder and the walls become one. When the noise of the world grows loud, retreat to your inner citadel, sit with yourself, breathe, remind yourself, you are not what happens to you, you are not what others think, you are not the chaos of your mind, you are the stillness beneath it. The observer, the builder, the soul that cannot be touched, that's the refuge Marcus found on sleepless nights. That's the sanctuary Seneca wrote from exile. That's the fortress Epictetus built in chains. And that's the same fortress you can build here, now, with nothing but your mind and your will. When your fortress stands firm, you stop fearing solitude, you begin to cherish it, because solitude no longer feels like emptiness, it feels like freedom, it feels like home, and in that sacred stillness, you discover something beautiful, the joy of simply being. In the next part, we'll explore that final truth, how being alone, once feared, becomes the most peaceful state of all. Welcome to the joy of being alone. Silence, for most people, it feels uncomfortable. It's the space where thoughts echo too loudly, where loneliness whispers your name, where you realize, there's no one left to distract you from yourself. But if you listen closely, beneath that silence, something else begins to speak: peace, clarity, joy. The Stoics believed that solitude wasn't a punishment, it was a path. And once you've built your inner fortress, you finally understand why most people fear being alone, not because they lack company, but because they've never learned to be their own. They fill every quiet moment with noise, music, messages, movies, anything to avoid meeting their own reflection. They crave constant validation, because silence reveals insecurity. They run from solitude, because solitude reveals truth. But the Stoic walks in the opposite direction. They step into solitude, not to escape the world, but to find themselves within it. Epictetus once said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." Freedom, then, isn't about being surrounded, it's about standing alone without fear. When you stop running from your own company, you begin to see it for what it truly is, not loneliness, but liberation. There's a difference between being alone and feeling lonely. Loneliness is the absence of others. Solitude is the presence of yourself. Loneliness says, "No one sees me." Solitude says, I finally see myself. Loneliness is heavy, a hunger for connection, a longing to be filled, but solitude is light, a fullness that overflows into the world. When you live with awareness, you begin to understand the goal was never to fill the silence with people, but to fill yourself with peace, so that your presence becomes its own companionship. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." That retreat, that calm inner home, is where joy begins. Solitude is not an escape from life, it's a deep encounter with it. When you sit alone without distraction, you start to notice things. The rhythm of your breath, the patterns of your thoughts, the small, beautiful details of existence you once overlooked. You begin to see that peace was never missing, it was simply buried under noise. Seneca practiced solitude daily, even while surrounded by the wealth and chaos of Rome. He wrote, "I never spend a day in idleness, I never have a day entirely to myself." To be everywhere is to be nowhere. In solitude, he found perspective. He learned to measure life not by its noise, but by its depth. The Stoics treated solitude like sharpening a blade, a time to refine thought, strengthen purpose, and return to the world with clarity. When you're alone, there's no one to impress. No one to perform for, no one to hide behind, it's just you, and the truth you've been avoiding. At first, that truth can sting. You see your flaws, your fears, your inconsistencies. You see the parts of yourself you've kept in shadow. But don't turn away, look closer. Because the same solitude that exposes your weaknesses also reveals your strength. You begin to realize, you've survived every heartbreak, every disappointment, every lonely night, you were always stronger than you thought, and once you see yourself clearly, you stop needing others to define your worth. You stop begging for attention, because you've already given yourself what you needed most. Understanding, in a world obsessed with doing, solitude teaches you the art of being. No tasks, no noise, no race to run, just this breath, this moment, this quiet awareness that says, I am here. Stillness isn't laziness, it's alignment. It's when the mind stops chasing the past or the future, and rests in the only place that truly exists. Now, Marcus Aurelius said, do not let the future disturb you. You will meet it, if you have to, with the same reason you use today. Stillness reminds you that peace was never waiting at the end of your goals, it was waiting behind the noise of your thoughts. When you touch that stillness, you discover a joy that doesn't depend on circumstances. It's not loud or dramatic, it's quiet, like sunlight through the trees, like the steady rhythm of the sea. Solitude gives you time to build the most important relationship of all, the one with yourself. Most people are strangers to their own soul. They live outward, defined by what others think, measured by comparison. But solitude invites you inward. It asks, what do you believe in? What kind of person do you want to be when no one's watching? What kind of life feels true to you? Epictetus urged his students, be your own companion. That's not loneliness, that's wisdom, because when you become your own friend, you stop seeking people to fill your emptiness. You start seeking people to share your fullness. You no longer love out of need, you love out of abundance. In solitude, you rediscover simplicity. You realize that joy was never in having more, but in needing less. You begin to find happiness in small things, a quiet morning, a walk without purpose, a moment of gratitude for simply existing. Seneca said, "He is most powerful who has power over himself." It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. Solitude teaches you sufficiency, the art of contentment. You stop chasing validation, because peace feels better than approval. You stop fearing absence, because you've learned that nothing essential can be taken from you. This is where joy lives, not in what you gain, but in what you let go of. The Stoics often turned to nature in solitude. Marcus walked beneath the stars, Seneca listened to the sea, Epictetus, though poor and crippled, found wonder in every sunrise. They saw that nature was the greatest teacher of all, calm, resilient, effortless in its cycles of life and loss. In solitude, when you sit beneath the sky or beside the water, you begin to feel part of something vast. You realize your worries are small, temporary ripples on an endless ocean. You stop trying to control life, and start moving in harmony with it. That's the deepest joy solitude gives, a sense of belonging not to people, but to existence itself. There's a hidden truth in the word alone. Break it apart, it becomes all one. That's what solitude reveals. The illusion of separation fades. You begin to see that everything, every person, every event, every moment, is connected. When you are truly alone, you're not disconnected, you're deeply connected to all that is. You see the world not as something you must conquer, but as something you belong to. The Stoics called this the cosmic perspective, to see yourself as a small but integral part of the universe's grand design. From that place, your worries shrink, your heart opens, and gratitude becomes natural. You realize you never needed the world to complete you. You already were part of it all along. When solitude transforms into joy, something beautiful happens. You stop needing the world to entertain you. You start inspiring it. Your calm becomes contagious. Your presence becomes peaceful. People begin to feel safe around you, not because you speak much, but because your silence feels like understanding. This is the quiet power of the Stoic soul, to radiate peace without demanding attention. Because real strength doesn't need to prove itself, it simply is. Seneca described such a person as calm in adversity, modest in success, the same in all circumstances. That's the kind of strength solitude builds. Steady, luminous, eternal. You began this journey thinking solitude was emptiness. Now you know its fullness. You once feared silence. Now you crave it. You once sought love to feel whole. Now you give love because you already are. This is the great paradox of the Stoic path. When you stop chasing happiness, you find peace. When you stop fearing aloneness, you find connection. And when you finally embrace the silence within, you realize you were never truly alone. The goal of solitude is not to stay apart forever, it's to return stronger. When you found peace within, you re-enter the world with clarity. You no longer demand from others what only you can give yourself. You no longer cling, you simply care. You walk among people not to fill your emptiness, but to share your wholeness. The Stoic doesn't escape life, he elevates it, because the man who can stand alone, can stand anywhere. So maybe being single isn't something to escape from, maybe it's something to embrace, a sacred space for growth, for peace, for rediscovery. Because the truth is, being alone doesn't mean you're unloved. It means you are learning to love without conditions, without needing someone else to define your worth. When you stop chasing what's outside, you start hearing what's inside, that quiet voice reminding you that you are already enough. The Stoics taught us that true freedom begins when we master ourselves, and solitude is where that mastery begins. So don't run from your solitude. Sit with it, learn from it. Let it shape you into someone who no longer needs to be completed. Because you already are. If this message spoke to you, remember to subscribe to the Stoic Island, a place where we explore ancient wisdom for modern peace. Join us, and continue your journey toward the calm within. because sometimes, the most powerful relationship you'll ever have is with yourself.